Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the second theory related to wage. In the previous class we have discussed about subsistence theory of wage. Now we are going to discuss the wage fund theory. This theory was introduced by J.S. Mill, John Stuart Mill. And according to him, every firm keeps a fixed amount of capital as reserves to pay wages for laborers. Every firm keeps a fixed amount of capital as reserves to pay wages. And the wage rate of each firm is determined by their wage fund, this reserve, divided by the number of laborers. For example, if the wage fund is rupees 10,000 and the number of laborers in the firm is 10, then the wage rate will be 10,000 divided by 10 equal to rupees 1000. So this is the mechanism for determining the wage rate. That is the statement of this wage fund theory. So when the wage rate will increase, the wage rate will increase either the wage fund increases. If the wage fund increases, wage rate will also increase. Or in another situation, the wage rate will increase when there is a reduction in the number of workers. If the number of workers is reduced, it will also increase the wage rate. So these are the possible situations for an increase in wage rate. So here trade unions does not have any role. They cannot influence the wage rate. So they are powerless. Trade unions cannot increase wage rate by their bargaining power, because wage rate is determined exclusively by wage fund. So trade unions cannot make changes in wage fund because wage fund is determined by the producer or the firm. Now let's see what are the criticisms of this theory. The first criticism leveled against wage fund theory is that this theory does not explain the method of estimating wage fund. It is stating that wage rate is determined by dividing wage fund by number of workers, but how this wage fund is determined by each firm is not clearly explained. Then the second criticism is that in reality what is happening is the wage rate is determined first. When the firm is hiring a worker, he will demand a particular wage rate, and that is the first thing. And in accordance with this wage, the producer will reserve certain fund. That is, the wage fund is determined. That is the actual process happening in the economy. But this theory is explaining that the wage fund is determined first, and in accordance with the wage fund, wage rate is determined. That is not the correct procedure, or that is not the correct process happening in real situation. Then the third criticism is that this theory completely neglects the quality and efficiency of the workers, because every workers in a particular firm gets equal wage rate. That's also not true in real situation, because in real situation a highly qualitative worker will get more wages than a less efficient worker. There is wage differences, but this theory does not accept that. This theory claims that every workers will get equal wage rate. So that's also not true in real situation. And the next criticism is that wages cannot be increased through bargaining, because trade unions are powerless. Wage is determined by the wage fund. That wage fund is determined by the producer. So trade unions cannot bargain for an increase in wage rate. But it is also not true in real situation. You know, every trade unions are always bargaining for a hike in wage rate, and in some situations this bargaining is accepted, or this wage increase is accepted by the producer, and they make the wages increased. So that is actually happening in real situation. The trade unions have power. They can increase wage rate by their collective bargaining. But this theory completely neglected that portion. And the final criticism is that wage fund theory has failed to explain the differences in wage rate. There is differences in wage rate. All the workers are not getting same wage rate. A high productive worker get larger wage rate, and a low quality worker get lower wage rate. That is actually happening. But this theory failed to explain these differences in wage rate. This theory states that every workers get equal wage rate regardless of their quality or efficiency or productivity. So these are the major criticisms leveled against wage fund theory. So we have completed two theories regarding the wages: subsistence theory and wage fund theory. Go through these two theories and we can have a live discussion on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.